Since the beginning of time, cooking techniques for Isan people was very simple. They only boil and grill their food, and with the help of the basic mortar and pestle, they make dressings and salads and paste for dips. But right from the beginning, Isan food has its own characteristics and flavor profile that has made a name all over the world for this region. Who doesn't know Thai papaya salad? Although Isan people get their ingredients from the land, Isan food is simple, unique, and delicious. In terms of Isan cookery, it's very rudimentary and very simple. So they only have grilling, which has many names, and boiling. And then they have fire, open fire. That's it. So today we are at a village museum called Wat Po Si, and we're going to go inside there. There's a guy named Maha who's going to take us on a tour of how they keep their kitchen going. Okay, let's go inside. สวัสดีครับคุณมหา
สวัสดีครับ
นี่เป็นอะไรเนี่ย
นี่เป็นเรือนครัวฮะ เรือนครัวของไทยอีสานโบราณ
In the olden days, they used firewood. The stove is made of earth, packed in a rectangular shaped box, and it is in the house. A tripod is made of dry rice husk and clay for the pot to stand on. They only have clay pots to cook with. They can only boil or grill. อันนี้ล่ะสำหรับใส่อะไรครับ
ไหปลาร้าเขาเรียกว่าไหไงฮะภาษาพื้นบ้านไหไง
ทำไมต้องมีฝาด้วยทำไมไม่มีสองชั้น
อันนี้เลี้ยงน้ำเพื่อไม่ให้นอนเข้าไป
Water and even fermented fish are kept in a clay pot or urn. Cooking utensils are made of coconut shells. Fire is kept on at the stove constantly.
เราจุดไฟข้างล่างควันจะขึ้นมาข้างบน
ก็ไม่มีแมลง
ไม่มีแมลงฮะแล้วก็อย่างหอมอย่างกระเทียมเนี่ยมันก็จะแห้งไปในตัวของมัน
ทำให้มันแห้งแล้วก็กันแมลงด้วย Since they don't have refrigeration or shelves, dry goods or preserved meats are hung in a basket over the smoky fire. The only steaming they do is steaming sticky rice in a bamboo basket. And then what you do is, this is a mixture of cilantro roots, garlic, and white peppercorns, all pounded up together. Unbelievable. They used to have to pound everything together. It's not too bad, actually. Oh my God, this is so good. Isan cookery is very, very simple since the beginning of time. It's very rudimentary, and what usually happens is that there's grilling, boiling because they only have clay pots, and then there's salad making and there's dip making. That's it. So today we're going to go in here and see how they use the grilling technique. And one of the dishes that they make in Isan very, very well, and they've done this in a long time, is grilled chicken. And it's free-ranging chicken. Let's go in there. This is what I'm talking about. Grilled chicken. And you know, they use the old bamboo stick to just take half of the chicken. This is like a tool for barbecuing. In the olden days, it would have been a little bit different than this. What they would have done was with open pit fire, and they used firewood. Charcoal came only about a couple of hundred years only in this country with the Chinese. So we're going to go and see how it's done, and there'll be two things that we're going to see. We're going to see how they do this, how they marinate it, how they skewer it, and then we're going to do another thing called jiao bong, which is basically a dip, a chili dip. So good. จะทำเลยใช่ไหมครับ So go ahead. First, you split the free-ranging chicken and put it in a sauce that is a marinade, actually. And this marinade has soy sauce and everything else in it. It's already pre-made. Yeah. Then afterwards, she puts salt, sea salt on it. It's almost like kosher salt. On the inside, rub it on the outside as well. And then what you do is, this is a mixture of cilantro roots, garlic, and white peppercorns all pounded up together. This gives you the aroma. And this mixture is just a paste. You see, this is very, very Thai. And of course, it's very Issan. Splits it across with the wing up here. The wing is up here. Okay. And the neck as well. In Thailand, you see the chicken are bought with the neck and the heads attached. And this is a modern invention. They add a little bit of wiring on top of it. And then they put the legs together, the leg part, and skewer it into the center of the chicken. Now we have this, and finally, you know, you have to wait for one day to marinate overnight, and then the next day you grill it. And then you have to grill it over very, very low flame charcoal. And it's really good and tender and juicy. Unbelievable. It means it smells good. Before Oi and I are going to start doing this dish, which is a chili dip called jiao bong. There are two types of jiao bong. One that is stir-fried and cooked, so it lasts a lot longer, or the fresh one that you have to use it, all the fresh ingredients. In the olden days, they used to have to pound everything together. The reason why you have to pound all these ingredients is because you want to get the essential oil that comes out of these ingredients: the galangal, the kaffir lime, the garlic, and the kaffir lime leaves, and the lemongrass. Okay? So that's how it's done. But these days, what she does is she uses machine for everything, because there's so many mouths to feed, and you don't have time to just do this all day. But today, she's going to do it for you as an example, okay? เชิญเลยครับ
ได้เลยครับ
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, actually. Into a mixing bowl, you add ground fermented fish. Then you add ground toasted rice seeds. Add the ground dry chili peppers to it. and then mix well. Add tamarind juice to this mixture and mix well again. Then you add the ground kaffir lime leaves and mix this together very well. You will have raw jiao bong. We have the raw state of jiao bong that you can eat right away. Now we're going to do the cooked one. The cooked one will last for months. First, you heat up oil in a pan. Then you add the chopped shallots. Stir fry it and cook it until it's cooked but not brown. Then you add the ground garlic. Stir it, cook it out. The Thai garlic, which is the same as the Thai shallots. They're much smaller and they're more pungent than Western garlic, okay? And I'm about to sneeze because this fire is like, ugh, and it's very fragrant right now. Then you add the ground kaffir lime leaves, stir it again, and then lastly, you add the ground galangal. Galangal is not ginger. Ginger is hot and heaty. Galangal is a cooling root. You cannot cook Thai food or even Isan food if you use ginger instead. Then, in the end, add the raw jiao bong paste and cook it out until everything is cooked and changes color. This is your cooked jiao bong. You know, this much rice, sticky rice, can feed a whole family of about 10, okay? You just take a little bit of the rice, handle it and roll it into a ball like this. And then you dip it in here. Use your thumb. Take a little bit of this. And then, oh my God, this is so good. Of course, you have tuck your thumb as well. That's so good. Then you eat it with other things like papaya salad or this. You can just tear it out of here. Look at this. And then you use your fingers. Tear this piece out here. Dip it in here. This is how Isan people eat. It tells you that they're from the land. This is how Isan people eat. It tells you that they're from the land. They use everything that is natural around them. And their life is very simple. Their food is very simple. But remember one thing. Isan food is pungent, tangy, salty, hot, sour. But it's never sweet. You don't see any sugar in here, do you? The sugar comes from this, sticky rice only. So come to Isan and enjoy the real stuff. แจ่วบอง
แจ่วบองแจ่วบองสุก
ขอบคุณครับ
ครับ
Oh, this is so good. You can go away now. I want to eat. Bye. Then we're gonna pound it. Wow. When you pound it, you have to mean it. Now, we're going to make the lap. You put in the paste, and it's a lot. There. And then, a lap is not a lap unless it has this. You have not arrived in Isan if I don't make you laugh. One thing I need to tell you is that the word laap is not a name of a dish. It's a cooking technique. It's a warm salad. Therefore, you can use any kinds of protein to make a laap. So don't get it wrong. It has to be a warm salad, not cold like you do it in the West. All right? It has to be done slightly warm and served slightly warm. Tip it, I guess. But this is how it's made. You can use any kind of protein. So I'm gonna sit here with my friend here, Pao, who's going to show me and help me do the lap. Okay? First, we're gonna roast lemongrass chopped up, galangal chopped up, and sliced shallots and unpeeled garlic in a wok. Cook it out until it browns a little bit and gets dehydrated a little bit. Then you add the julienne kaffir lime leaves and cook it a little bit more. Then we're gonna pound it. Wow. When you pound it, you have to mean it. Add the ground dry chili peppers to the pounded paste. Now, we're going to make the lap. First, you heat up liquid in a pan or a saucepan if you want. Once it comes to a boil, you add offal meats to it. Cook it just a little bit. You don't want to cook it through. You still want it to be a little bloody. I guess most people won't like this, but then you won't be able to taste the sweetness of the liver or the blood and all this kind of thing in the gizzards as well. Then you add the ground duck and the ground duck skin. Stir it around, cook it until it's almost done. Pour some of the liquid out. Then lower the heat, put the pan back on the stove. We throw the liquid out because it might taste a little wild. Add the chili paste that we pounded earlier. There. Season it with fish sauce, lime juice, and tamarind juice. Then you finish by adding chopped green onions, chopped sawtooth coriander, and then a lap is not a lap unless it has this. And this is basically, what is it?
ข้าวคั่ว
Toasted ground rice seeds. And you have to add this and serve it right away because it will thicken your lap and it absorb all the liquid. Then you just you follow it with you just basically mix this salad in your mouth. And as you chew, there'll be different tastes, different textures, and different flavors. You want to forget your husband? Okay, good. All the vegetables that's available for you here complement the heaty, spicy, tangy, salty, very pungent lap. And lap should be like this. And lap, if it's not hot, it's no good. So try to make it at home. Or better still, come eat at her restaurant. Wow, this is really good.